Oh, do I feel good today? What's good, everybody? Welcome in to the Early Edge, your sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting. And it's not close. All of the odds on the Early Edge are provided by our incredible partners, the king of all sports books, BetMGM. Now, coming off a solid day at the brand, we tell you all the time, we're just the conduit, the liaison to SportsLine. But yesterday, solid once again. My man, Sia Nejad, just keeps clicking them off one by one. Amags and the Maestro together on the Sacramento Kings late night last night, getting it done. Now, do not forget, our NFL week starts tonight. Prime time, Early Edge. We count you down to what should be an absolute banger in the AFC North. The Bengals, their playoff lives literally on the line. They're in the only division with all four teams having winning records. Ooh, a lot on the line. Jay Burrow, L. Jackson, as you know who likes to say. So with all that being said, on a Thursday, when maybe you're just trying to get to the end of the week, you're just trying to find the energy to go one more day, you find the right place. Let's bring in the stars of the show. You know them, you love them, and on a Thursday, I bring my energy guys. Buckets is here. The counselor is here. And my man, Danny Brasco, is here, coming off a big night in New York City. Gentlemen, good morning. We got a lot to get to today. We're talking soccer, we're talking fighting, but we're going to start with our bread and butter, the National Football League. And counselor, tonight, we've got the Ravens. Tonight, we've got the Bengals coming to town. According to BetMGM, here are the numbers. It's now gone to 3.5. That's a big-time number. That hook is everything. The total sitting on 46. So, counselor, start us off. Are we fading or following the Ravens as a favorite tonight?
You know, even though the Ravens have come off a loss that we didn't expect, obviously you could say the same about the Bengals. I have faith in the Ravens to maybe cover this spread. I'm going to attack it in different ways. You'll see on our primetime show tonight. I'm giving out a prop today on this game, but I think I'm going to attack the Ravens maybe in a different way. If you recall, last week I had a first half play. It was the first half under. I kind of like the first half under here, but that's not the play I'm referring to. So tune into Early Edge Primetime to find out how I'm going to attack this game. But to answer your question, I lean the Ravens here. I think a lot of people like the Bengals because of that hook. You're getting the 3.5. I just think the Ravens are too strong. I think T. Higgins being out is kind of a big deal. I don't think the Bengals will be able to effectively run the ball. It'll turn them into a one-dimensional team. Ravens, on the other hand, should be able to pass, should be able to run.
I don't know if you noticed while you were giving your takes here, but Buckets had this confused look on his face when you said T. Higgins, because he probably thinks his name is actually T. Higgins. Yes. It's like very confusing for him.
Yes.
Very confusing for him. Do not do that stupid smiley laughy thing today with not say anything. Don't, because now it's screwing with my head. Don't do that. All right, Danny Brasco, I'm coming over to you, big boy, because we got a big time one tonight. So, Sia Nejad, little tease to primetime Early Edge. Where are you headed?
I hate to be on the opposite side of Sia, my guy, but I like the Bengals in this spot. And the one sketchy thing I'll say is there probably will be a good deal of bets on them. Public underdogs are something you usually want to stay away from. Books know a little better than that. But I will say Joe Burrow as an underdog of 3 points or more, 15-2 against this spread in the NFL, 5-1 against this spread in college. This guy should never be an underdog. You don't make Burrow a dog of more than a field goal. And look, the Ravens are that AFC powerhouse team that every time you think they're going to start running away with it, they let you down and they lose a game to the Browns where the Browns missed an extra point to blow it themselves. I think Burrow off a loss and in division here. Yeah, it's a tight spot, but I want the points in this one. So on a short week, give me the Bengals plus 3.5.
Hey, Sia, how confident are you in your little Ravens lean today?
Well, you said it, Coach. It's a lean. It's just not an official pick. So typically my policy is I'll welcome any showdowns on official picks. This is not one of them.
All right, fair enough. Buckets, what's your response to neither one throwing it out there? I have to throw it out there all the time, huh?
It's a little bit crazy if you think about it. I mean, Coach, you and I, we're both hashtag next level cappers here. I'm starting to think that maybe Sia and Danny just aren't that. However, as you told me, you're not going to get any more false bravado out of Buckets here. I've learned my lesson and I'm done giving the hooks or points or whatever you want to call it. But Coach, I do want to jump in here real quick and say that while I disagree with both picks here, because I don't think either team is going to cover the spread, not sure if that's possible actually now that I think about it, there's one thing that I want to do. I do want to mention the no-fly zone briefly here. Even though we probably don't have that as a segment today, that is where you're going to find your money. You don't want to bet on points. You don't want to bet on spreads or hooks or bravado or any of that nonsense. All you want to do here is take J. Burrow to throw an INT at -110. That's where you're going to find your value, Coach.
See what you did, Sia? See what you did there? I blame you.
Yeah, that's on
I
me.
blame you.
I do like how he said neither is going to win when it's clear that there's a hook in there, so somebody actually has to win.
Literally not possible. I will add on while we're here, if you're worried about that hook or worried about that 3, just to make an actual point, Joe Burrow since 2021, when he's listed as an underdog, 16-0 in 6-point teasers. So if you like teasers, tease the Bengals and Burrow's a dog. You're going to win.
Did you say an actual point? Is that what you just
That's
said?
right, an actual point. That's right.
Yes.
Oh, my God. All right, so I asked you the question, where are you going to make these bets? Well, I'll tell you. Oh, so many of you have already signed up, and we appreciate that. So does BetMGM. Now, new BetMGM customers can sign up today and get $200 in bonus bets. Just place your first wager of at least $10, and you'll receive $200 instantly in bonus bets, regardless of your wager's outcome, with bonus code EDGE200. That is bonus code EDGE200. Now, as many of you know, we have a little competition between the early edge and pick 6. I represent the early edge. I am wiping the floor with Will Brinson and that whole crew over there. Now, if you want to watch the bloodbath, you can do it today. But you say, Coach, where can I see it? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Snake?
We need your sports news anywhere.
We've got breaking news to bring you.
Then get your sports anytime you want them. Big trade news overnight to discuss.
Because we know you need sports all the time.
A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
A legend adds to their legacy.
We're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
CBS Sports HQ, anywhere, anytime, all the time.
4:15 Eastern this afternoon. Your boy, Will Brinson. Now, Danny Brasco, we got some people in the chat that are doing some homework. So I'm going to come right back to you. And they said, hey, Brasco, Bengals 0-14 since 2012 in away primetime games. In case you didn't know, your response to that?
Yeah, I love stats like that because they're not indicative of the game at all. Who was the quarterback in 2012? What about 2013? What about 2014? What about 2015? We have Joseph Burrow at QB now. Okay, those stats don't mean anything to me. Also, they're due.
I think it was Boomer Esiason in 2012.
Right? Yeah, I think
John
it
Kitna.
was. I think it was
John Kitna. John Kitna. That's correct.
Was John Kitna the quarterback in 2012?
You know,
I think he might have been.
That's a great response because people do that all the time. Going back to 1994. What? There wasn't even a team there, in 1994. All right. Now, you guys come here for our board. And our board is different every single day. And with a big international break, you might ask yourself, oh, I don't have any soccer? I don't have any daytime? Oh, you'd be sadly mistaken. So, Buckets, I need you to start us off. Not one. I need 2. Let's go.
Coach, I can do just that because we have the Euro qualifiers taking place this afternoon. And the Euro qualifiers are an international competition that can be a little bit tricky here because sometimes in these matchups, the gap between the two countries playing is just astronomical. It is me versus Danny Brasco here. It is not even close in some of these matchups. You can decide which one is which here. So we're going to start with the matchup between Cyprus and Spain. Cyprus, a.k.a. Danny, is struggling right now in this group. This is a team that just cannot find their form, and they're frankly outclassed immensely by the Spain team. Spain, even if they play their entire 4th-string squad, will absolutely run over the Cyprus side. This is a game where the score could reflect an NFL scoreline rather than a soccer scoreline here. I'm taking Spain over 3.5 team total, which means Spain has to score at least 4 to cash this bet for this match taking place at noon. Last time they played in the reverse fixture, Spain won 6-0, and they probably should have won 7, 8, 9, 10-0. It is just too much firepower on the Spain side that will look to clinch Euro qualifiers with a win here this afternoon. Then for our second match, which also takes place at noon, we've got a great match between Bulgaria and Hungary. And this is a bit of a bizarre one when I'm looking at these lines because, frankly, these lines don't seem correct to me. Bulgaria is dead last in the group. They have yet to win a single match in this competition, and they have just been the punching bag for their group all Euros long. Meanwhile, Hungary has not lost yet in the group stage. They are undefeated. They are beating everybody. They are one of the most dominant and surprising sides so far in the Euro qualifiers. Right now, you can take Hungary on the money line for -135, which I know is a little bit of juice here, but I promise you that juice is worth the squeeze, because if Hungary wins, they clinch their qualifiers to the 2024 Euros, which means that they're not going to slow down here. They're going to play their best starting 11, and this is a match to where they could score 2 or 3 goals here as well.
All right, Hungary clinches there as Buckets talks that, according to John in the chat. Danny, would you care to respond to said shots fired?
I mean, it was kind of on point. Like, I am Greek, so Cyprus, Cyprian joke is appropriate. And I will say, I mean, I like the pick. Cyprus is better at defending corporate taxation than they are against goals. So I like where Buckets is at.
Whoa.
He literally has no idea what you just said. He has
That's
no
right.
idea what you
It
just said.
sounded to me, though, like Danny wishes to take a showdown against that Spain team total. Is that correct, Danny?
No, absolutely not. I actually said the exact opposite. I said
Okay. Just had to double check.
Big words.
You two are something else. You two are. If only we had the space to have another show during the day.
That's a great idea.
That'd be so
Is that
nice.
a good idea, counselor?
Yeah, really good idea.
Should we think about doing that?
Yeah, let's get on that right away.
Yeah. Would you all like more early edge throughout the day? If you would, just type yes into the chat and do it after you hit the like button. You're getting very, very lazy. We're going to start taking things away. And I don't like to do that. So hit the like button. And if you'd like more early edge, just write yes. If you don't, then it will not be early edge in 5. No, that ship has sailed officially. But if you'd like more, I think that'd be a great idea, counselor. I would love for you to be there more. Buckets.
Oh, thanks for asking.
No, Danny, I would love for you to be there as well. Now, because I know you're just going to take that show over too. We can't have 2 megastars on the same show. I'll talk to the bosses. Now, Danny, I need you to focus. Because as we know, every single week, especially at this time of the year, we got to be laser focused because so many things are happening in combat sports. You're my guy, not just for UFC, but also big boxing yesterday. Saudi Arabia's got heavyweight fights coming up. We're going to have you make picks for that, but that's down the road. I need the here and the now. What do you got?
Coach, we got some interesting combat events this weekend, and coming off a massive UFC 295 card in Madison Square Garden where I was in the building. Electric experience, and we crushed as well, hitting Pereira and Aspinall. So I hope everyone cashed in with me onto this weekend. And we've got some interesting picks. The main event is Paul Craig taking on Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen is a minus 450 favorite. That's not attractive to me. I do think he'll win the fight, but not at that price tag. So I'm going to bet the over 1.5 rounds in the main event there. I do think that both guys have the toughness to go, past the halfway mark in the first round. And there's going to be a feeling out process. Both are very, very talented grapplers, but Craig is now at middleweight where he looks a little leaner, a little quicker, and his striking might have improved. So I think there will be a feeling out process. And even if it does, start to trade and get nasty, both guys have the toughness to go into deeper water. So I like the over 1.5 in that main event. Now let's go to the dog of the week. Give me Trey Ogden here at plus 115. I think he should actually be the favorite in this fight. Ogden has really nice footwork, dances on the outside well, and mixes up his MMA game with clinch work, takedowns, and just a whole bevy of attacks in the mixed martial arts game. His opponent, Nicholas Mota, kind of a pure boxer. He's a guy that I see as a headhunter, just looking for that left hook, right hand combination. And when he doesn't find it, he can kind of get stuck, watching in the mirror. Ogden danced on the outside successfully to a decision win against a long, lanky kickboxer in Daniel Zellhuber, and that win is aging very nicely now. If he can do that to a guy in Zellhuber with the length and the reach and the kick attacks, why can't he do that to Mota? Give me Ogden as a plus 115 dog. And finally, Coach, there's a boxing fight on tonight with one of the best in the game. It's Shakur Stevenson. And his decision prop is minus 220. I get it. He's a guy that's 20-0, and 10 of his wins are by knockout, 10 by decision. He's not necessarily a knockout artist. But Shakur, man, he can put it on you. And when his speedy combinations are lighting it up, I think the ref might have to step in there and save his opponent, De Los Santos. De Los Santos is a guy who has 14 knockouts out of 16 wins on his career. That means he wins by knockout. That means he must go forward and apply the pressure. And when that forward pressure isn't working, he's going to be met with counter punches and combinations. Eventually, I think it's going to get ugly and look bad. And Shakur has a chance to cash us a plus 320 knockout ticket. Give me the KO TKO for plus money, Coach.
And you said that fight is tonight.
It's tonight.
Right? Tonight. Finally, somebody's starting to think. Stop putting everything on Saturdays in the fall. You'll get more viewership. That's really, really smart. Do you know what next Friday is, by the way, Danny? Speaking of not doing it on the weekends?
The PFL.
PFL World Championships.
Speaking of which,
Go ahead.
Sorry, Coach. I was going to say, me and Ian Parker tried to link up at MSG, and we were going to take a picture and send it to our main man, Coach, but we didn't get a chance.
Oh, and I was staying up late that night waiting for it, too. All right. Now. 2 rock stars down, 1 rock star to go. But as you guys know, they're not cheap. They're not cheap at all. Also, we are revved up, ready to go. And I don't know where I'm going. So, Snake, here's a word from one of our incredible partners.
It's never too soon for college hoops. It's the Arizona Tip-Off on CBS Sports Network.
Is there really a fight, Danny, between a guy named Little Mac and King Hippo? Or
If there is, I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, then I think it's just a joke.
Those
All
are
right.
2 guys like on my block right now arguing over bacon, egg, and cheese. Like what?
Call him King Hippo. All right, 2 plays from SportsLine itself today. Mel in the chat, I can always count on you to tell me how many NHL games are going to be on the slate. We have a new NHL capper starting. You guys think it happens overnight. It does not, but we're going to keep it coming. And today, we're going to go Flames, -125. The Vancouver Canucks are facing a tough spot in the schedule. You want the rest of that article? You go read it at SportsLine. Also, NBA, Mikal Bridges, under 28.5 points and rebounds. This courtesy of our main man, Proppy, who has been crushing it. Look at that little number on the screen. NBA picks 59 and 34. His last 93. The man is a beast, and he's on our team. Now, if you want stuff throughout the day and you're not a soccer bettor, well, guess what? There is college basketball all day long. But you need to know where to get all the information. Well, guess what? I'm going to do you a solid right here, right now. I'm going to give you 60% off a quarterly plan. That's 3 months, buckets. Use a promo code COACH. There's the QR code. SportsLine.com/join. Come be a part of the fastest growing sports betting community in the world. And I promise you, you want to do it right now before the end of the year. I don't tease and not deliver. I promise you more is coming, and you want to be a part of it. All right, now, Sia Nejad, counselor, my main man, 1B. Everything for us here at the Early Edge. You are now in the maestro spot today. And I don't have to explain to you the pressure that's on your shoulders today to deliver because you do it every single day. You're up.
Shout out to the chat for the Mike Tyson punch-out references, by the way. Side note, John Kitna retired in 2013, but in 2010, he was on the Cowboys. Carson Palmer, I should say 2012, he was on the Cowboys. Carson Palmer was not on that 2012 team. He had been traded to the Raiders in 2010. So just, I don't know who that 2012 Bengals quarterback would have been, but I figured out the John Kitna and Carson Palmer part out. They were not the quarterback. All right, let's start in college football. This is the game that technically starts first. I have a prop in this NFL game, but I'm going to go with Pittsburgh over Boston College. This line moved from Pittsburgh +1 to Pittsburgh -3. And I don't normally just follow the market or the sharp money. Sometimes I'll go against it with no problem whatsoever. But this one I have to follow. I think most people will look at this game and they'll say, oh, Boston College has 6 wins. And by the way, I bet Boston College last week and we won that game. Boston College has 6 wins. Pitt has only 2. And why is Pitt favored by 3? Of course, I'm going to take Boston College. If betting were that easy, we wouldn't need this show, right? You just look at the line and you'd bet it and you'd be like, oh my God, betting is so easy. I'm going to make so much money this year. So why is the line what it is? I mean, Boston College just got absolutely rocked by Virginia Tech, allowing 600 yards to Virginia Tech, 363 on the ground. And I think Pitt is going to adopt that game plan from Virginia Tech. And for the record, speaking of records, the Boston College record is a little bit of smoke and mirrors. They have had a really soft schedule compared to Pittsburgh. Now, Pittsburgh is not a great team. They're not great offensively necessarily, certainly not great defensively, but Boston College really weak defensively as well. I think Pitt is probably the right play here. And again, I'm following the market here. For the record, a lot of Pitt's losses have been on the road lately. They beat Louisville in October at home. So I think this is a much better home team than what you'll see away from home. Okay, my next pick, we're going to Tyler Boyd, and it's mostly because I think the Bengals are either going to be in a neutral or negative game script, and because T. Higgins is out for this game. With T. Higgins out, we know Boyd really steps up. We saw it last week. He caught 8 balls, had 12 targets, and had 117 yards, dropped a critical touchdown at the end of the game. I think he's going to try to make up for that. But long story short here, we have 24.5 targets, or I should say completions projected for Joe Burrow. A lot of those are going to go to Jamar Chase, some of the tight ends. We saw Chandler Hudson really get involved, Irv Smith, Drew Sample. But Tyler Boyd is going to be that second pass catcher on this team, maybe even ahead of Joe Mixon. And when we're looking at 44.5 receiving yards, it is inflated a little bit because of that T. Higgins factor. I don't think it's inflated enough. Give me Tyler Boyd's over 44.5 receiving yards.
If there was any question before the last 2 minutes on who Sia Nejad is, I encourage you and ask you one question. Do you want to do the work? I didn't think so. Oh, geez. Yes. Yep. What do you have?
I got to jump in here and have a quick conversation with my main Sia. Sia, there's not room for two massive egos on the show. I am the only one who's allowed to sit here and be taking little subtle jabs and, rattling off statistics and all that stuff. So you said earlier in the show that you don't take showdowns on leans, but you do on your official picks. I want to put that to the test. Your bet on Pitts -3. Little known fact here, maybe you don't all know this, but Pitt is short for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a city. I think it's a city. Yep, it's a city in Pennsylvania that hosts the Pittsburgh Penguins, the NHL team. Penguins versus Boston College. Boston College, Eagles. Eagles can fly. Penguins cannot fly. That's my logic here, Sia. I'm taking Boston College +3. No false bravado, coach. I'm not taking the money line straight up, but I want to call you out on that one because Boston College +3 is an absolute gift of a line for a team that has won more than twice, unlike Pittsburgh. Boom.
Well, okay, so two things. One, I'm not exactly sure what the showdown is because I was stuck on my main Sia, which was hilarious. Regardless of what came after that, I'm totally down. Play the music.
It's gonna be a showdown.
Let's go.
Another one.
I just don't know how we get here. But damn it, I'm so glad we are. All right, so the showdown is official. Buckets has Boston College. By the way, do you know what city Boston College is in, Buckets?
Of course I do, coach. That's why I'm backing them on the showdown.
What city are they in?
We have to. What city are they in? Boston College is a city.
What did you just say?
What you said? What city is Boston College in? Boston College is a city.
I can't even.
Is that wrong? Is it not a city?
I mean, one is a city, one is a university.
Correct.
Boston, Massachusetts.
Woo! Right now, Sia is just backtracking to all the years of law school, all the years of education, and going, how did I sit here with that?
I'm sorry, Mom and Dad.
Sorry, Mom and Dad. I'll pay you that 150 G's back. No time. No time. Oh, my God. Oh. My man Ben, really sharp, you should follow him, says nothing more frustrating than not being able to tell the counselor on a heater. Stupid Massachusetts, not letting readers bet on Massachusetts colleges during regular season play. That's like the dumbest thing. New York does the same thing, right?
Yeah. The March Madness tournament, I could not jump in on the St. Peter's party, and I was so sad.
Wow. By the way, a little breaking news while we were doing the show just now. Major League Baseball owners have now approved the move of the A's to Las Vegas. So that is absolutely going to happen now. That just happened just moments ago. All right, everybody.
Nevada, by the way, Las Vegas.
Here's the recap. Grab your papers, grab your pencils. My man, the counselor. Only one college football game tonight, and we are on it. Pittsburgh -3, and Buckets will now lose another showdown as well. Tyler Boyd over 44.5 receiving yards. That's Thursday Night Football. He'll also, as always, be a part of Primetime Early Edge at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, my man, Buckets, there's a lot of soccer this afternoon. Spain, team total over 3.5. You heard the numbers. The last time they met, 6-0. Then Hungary on the money line -135. Then Danny Brasco. We've got a little UFC. Paul Craig, Brendan Allen over 1.5 rounds -105. Trey Ogden, that's our dog of the day, +115. And then boxing tonight. Let's take Shakur Stevenson by KO and TKO plus 320. Then 2 plays from SportsLine itself. The Calgary Flames on the ice, money line, minus 125. And in the NBA, courtesy of our man Proppy. And somebody in the chat said his record should be better than 59-34. Stop it. You clearly know nothing about sports betting if you think that's a bad record. And I don't mean to scold you, but you deserved it. All right, one more reminder tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, me and the best crew in the business at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, counting down to what is an incredibly pivotal game. I think that made sense. Pivotal game in the AFC North tonight, Bengals and the Ravens. All 4 teams in this division are above 500. All right, that's all the damage that we can do. But remember this, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, Lobo, Danny Brasco, the counselor, even Buckets. And never forget about the snake, the executive producer of this entire brand, always on the ones and the twos. I am simply the coach. Try to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about right here. Have a great day. Early Edge. Good luck.